On December the 12th, 2019, 15-year-old Alex Rada went missing after he went on a date with a mysterious lover. When his body was found early the next morning, the police began an investigation where they discovered what happens when an innocent crush spirals into a fatal attraction. It all began in October of 2019. 15-year-old Alex Rada, who attended Holmes Chapel High School, received a message from an 18-year-old Matthew Mason, who was the son of a millionaire church-going farmer. Mason was a closeted homosexual man and feared the day his secret would come out due to the strict rules that his family followed. For him, being outed was a nightmare that he never wanted to experience. Alex was born to Lisa and Adam Rada on August 16, 2003. Alex had an older brother, also named Adam, with whom he shared a close relationship. At the age of 13, Alex came out as homosexual to his family and friends, who accepted him with open arms. As one would expect, not everyone shared the same sentiments, and Alex had to deal with bullying at school. However, he did not let it dampen his spirit as he continued to document his life and was proudly gay. While he was still young, his parents Adam and Lisa got divorced, and Adam later married someone else. According to a close friend of Alex named Esme, Alex loved being on social media and was very openly gay. He was usually seen filming, which is why he grew a decent following on his social media accounts. One day, Alex received a message from Mason on Facebook, who was 3 years his senior. However, within the span of 6 weeks, their relationship spiraled, and the two of them got into an intimate relationship that began to escalate quickly. Alex had a group of female friends that he regularly talked to, which included Esme, Georgia, Yasmin, and Molly. He had told Esme about his relationship first, who was not only excited for her friend, but also encouraged him since she had never seen Alex so happy. Molly encouraged Alex to pursue the relationship as well, not knowing who he was talking to. None of his friends seemed to think that he was in any real danger since it was his first real relationship. When Alex told 18-year-old Georgia about seeing Mason, who was in the same year as her, she was immediately taken aback. She later claimed in an interview that she had never seen Mason indicate that he was gay or that he was interested in Alex. Despite her gut telling her otherwise, Georgia too gave Alex her blessing. However, deep down, she knew that it was odd that a wealthy boy such as Mason was paying attention to Alex, but chose to not voice her concerns since her friend was happy. The relationship started off as normal, but it was clear that Mason was interested in something more than a friendship. As things began to get more serious, Mason and Alex moved their interactions to Snapchat, a social media app that allowed him to send sexually explicit content without any worries as the videos disappeared after viewing them once. What Mason had not taken into account was that Alex was tech-savvy enough to save the videos and collect them over their 6-week-long relationship. While Mason took their sexting very seriously, it was something that Alex joked about with his friends, also a clear indication that he was far too young to be in this kind of relationship. When Alex found out that Matt had a girlfriend of 2 years, he gave him an ultimatum and asked him to break things off with her. Mason, who was still not ready to make their relationship public, refused to tell her anything. Left with no choice, Alex messaged Mason's girlfriend along with a screenshot of their conversation and told her that Mason had been sending him sexually explicit messages. Later, when Mason found out about it, he confronted Alex and told him that he did not want anyone to know about their relationship. Mason had managed to convince his girlfriend that Alex was lying. This did not sit well with the teenager, who then threatened to post compromising pictures of Mason on his stories if he kept lying about their relationship. This is where the money came in. In order to keep Alex from going public with their relationship, Mason started depositing money into Alex's account, starting with £50 and going up to over £2,000. In a way, Mason paid Alex for his sexual favors. Further investigation also revealed that the payments usually came after the two of them had met, hence giving birth to the claim that Mason had groomed Alex by offering him money. something that no young teenage boy would turn away. Forensic psychologist Carrie Nixon commented that the money changed the entire dynamic of their relationship. One morning, Lisa had come home from work to discover Mason and Alex together. She had warned her son to stay away from Mason as she saw something far more sinister in his eyes. On December 12, 2019, at 5:45 p.m., Alex came down from his room as usual and told his mother that he was going to meet a boy, but had not elaborated on who he was meeting with. He had then told her that his friend George would pick him up and he would later spend the night with one of his girlfriends, Charlotte. Instead, what Lisa was not aware of was that Mason was going to be picking Alex up for a dinner date. Mason had texted Alex and told him that he was going to take him to a special place and indicated that they would be indulging in sexual activity. In an interview later on, Alex's friend claimed that he thought Mason was joking about taking him to a special place since there was nothing special about a field. She had warned Alex to not follow Mason into the woods. Before leaving his home, Alex assured his mother that he would see her later. Unbeknownst to Lisa, this would be the last time she would see her son alive. CCTV footage showed Alex being picked up by Mason as the two of them headed off for their date. Later that night at 9 p.m., Lisa left a dinner party and began to call Alex. When her call went straight to voicemail, she was not worried as this was a common occurrence with the teenager. When all of her calls went unanswered, dread began to set in, and Lisa decided to reach out to Alex's friend, Esme. Esme told Lisa that she had not seen or heard from Alex, but was aware that he was going out on a date. Not wanting to cause Lisa any more stress, Esme did not voice out the fact that Alex never lied about where he was going, but this time he had purposefully kept everyone in the dark about his whereabouts that day. Because Alex had never revealed the identity of his secret lover, she began to worry and decided to call Charlotte, but when she also confirmed that she had not seen Alex either, panic ensued. All of Alex's girlfriends gathered around and began making calls, asking people if they had seen Alex. By 10 p.m., December 12th, Alex remained missing, and this is when his friend Georgia put up a missing persons Facebook post, along with a picture of Alex and her and Lisa's contact number. What none of them had anticipated was that the post would gain traction as it garnered over 200,000 shares. At this point, Alex's entire family was alerted about him going missing. Alex's brother, Adam Jr., called their father and asked him for more information about his brother. Their father asked Adam if he had heard about the Russians. After Alex's missing persons post went viral, his family was contacted by fake profiles of Russian homophobes. They claimed that they had kidnapped Alex and that he was being kept in the back of a van while they tortured him. With no other leads on his whereabouts, Alex's friends and family begin to grow worried and eventually call the police. At this point, the police didn't take the family seriously, claiming that he had not been missing for long enough for an investigation to be launched, which is why everyone decided to split up and started looking around for Alex. Since multiple people had reached out to them with different leads, no one knew where to start looking. By 11 p.m., Georgia, who was the only one who knew about Mason and Alex, called Mason and asked him where Alex was since he was the last person to see him. He told her that he had dropped Alex off at the Village of Homes Chapel around 6 p.m. He also revealed that Alex had told him that he was going to Manchester with some of his friends, but did not elaborate on which friends. As friends and family continued to look for Alex, midnight rolled around. At this point, Alex's friend Yasmin started looking for trains coming and going to Manchester. The last train of the day was due a few minutes later, and Alex's friends waited for him to make an appearance, but when the train arrived, they realized that Alex was not on it. A blurry Snapchat story that Alex had posted earlier that day showed that he was in a car with someone and they were surrounded by trees. This did not help much as there were fields and trees all around Cheshire. At around 12:35 a.m., Lisa called Mason, but the call went straight to voicemail. She then sent him another message telling him that she was calling the police. Eventually, Mason calls her back and tells her the same things he told Georgia, that he dropped Alex off at 6 p.m. He then offers to drive them around looking for Alex. Growing more concerned as time went by, Lisa contacted the police again, who reached out to Mason and said, "Matthew, could you please contact Cheshire Police on 101 quoting incident number with regards to your friend Alex? Thank you." By 2 a.m., Alex was nowhere to be found, and his friends began to head home, as some of them had work in the morning. After a difficult night, Lisa was woken up at 7:40 a.m. on December 13, 2019, by DC Dave Eaton, a police family liaison officer. As soon as she saw him, she knew that Alex was no longer alive. Alex's half-clothed body was discovered in Ashley Mill Lane in the village of Ashley. The police told his family that although the body they found matched the description of Alex, they still needed someone to come in and identify his body. Alex's father and his older brother went in to identify the body, but only their father was able to see him. He described that Alex was unrecognizable from the blows that he took and had to be identified by his feet. Meanwhile, Alex's friends were at Cheshire Constabulary giving their statements, unaware that their friend's body had been found. Around noon that day, Mason was stopped by the police at A41 Staffordshire. When the police searched his car, they found Alex's coat and a bloody wrench in the boot of the car. The police asked Mason to get out of the car, but he refused to move until he was eventually taken out by force and arrested. At the police station, Mason was interviewed, during which he tried to claim that Alex attacked him first, and he acted in self-defense. A year later, on November 30, 2020, he went on trial at the Chester Crown Court, where he pleaded not guilty to murder. When Mason took the stand for the first time, he began to put an act. He sounded like he had learning difficulties while his lawyers tried to push for an insanity plea. During the trial, it was revealed that Mason had taken Alex into the woodlands in Ashley under the pretense of sexual activity. He hid the wrench behind his back, and when Alex was in a vulnerable position on his knees, he hit the young boy with the wrench and delivered 15 fatal blows. Forensic experts who were brought to the court revealed that Mason had used enough force to fracture Alex's skull, causing pieces of it to penetrate into his brain, which is what ultimately killed him. After several statements by Mason, it was also revealed that Alex was still breathing and alive when he left the woodland area. He then went to a friend's house where he washed himself up and joined the rest of his friends at a pub, where he then proceeded to take a picture and posted it on his Snapchat stories as if everything was normal. After he got home that night, he sent another shirtless picture to his girlfriend, further building up on the alibi that he was not anywhere near Alex during his time of death. Once he bid his girlfriend goodnight, he sneaked out once again and headed to the woodlands to confirm that he had finished the job. He then tried to drag Alex's body towards his car, but did not take into account how heavy the teenager's dead weight would be. This is when he gave up and left his body on the side of the road to be discovered in the morning. Mason had also found Alex's cell phone in his car and dumped it since he knew how much incriminating evidence there was against him on it. To this day, the cell phone has not been found. It was also discovered that on December 6, 2019, Mason had made multiple searches, including things like how to poison someone, what happens when you push someone down the stairs, and cases of missing children in Cheshire that were never found. Investigators deduced that he intended to kill Alex from the moment he started sending him money, with his search history proving that he tried his best to cover his tracks. The discovery of Mason's search history resulted in his self-defense counter-argument becoming redundant. 5 weeks later, on January 7, 2021, after 9 hours of deliberation, the jury found Mason guilty of murder. He was sentenced to 28 years in prison without the possibility of parole. Judge Stephen Everett claimed that the murder was deliberate and carefully planned. A year later, Mason appealed and got his sentence reduced to just 26 years. Alex's family revealed that his friends had been pivotal in getting Mason arrested, as they provided extensive witness statements that detailed their relationship. They were able to establish that their relationship was under the legal age of consent, and hence proved that Mason had groomed Alex into a sexual relationship. Some notable documentaries were created to unfold the complexities of the case and also highlight the role of social media in leading to the horrific crime. Documentaries such as ITV's Social Media Murders and Killed by a Rich Kid by Channel 5 shed light on the intricacies of this case. To this day, Alex Rada's mother mourns the loss of her child, even describing it as being in hell. Do you think Matthew Mason deserved a harsher sentence than just 26 years? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you want more videos like this, please be sure to like the video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on more true crime videos. Stay safe out there. See you in the next video.